Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome back to another video. You join me outside my Mark 7 Golf R. Yeah, quite a snowy day. We're going to start it up, get inside, get it warmed up because it hasn't been started in a while, and talk to you about the Mark 8 Golf GTI, Clubsport and the R, and comparing them all and going through that with you. So yeah, let's get straight into this one. Let's get out of the snow. So I haven't started the car in about 2 weeks, so it does need starting now. It is very snowy. I'm not taking it out because we're still in lockdown issues here in the UK, so yeah, not really the sensiblest idea to go for a drive. As much as it would be cool, it would be very cool in a Golf R to be going for a drive. It says outside temperature is pretty cold, unsurprising. But yeah, let's start her up. Cold start, but yeah, let's get into this video. So there we go. As the car is warming up, I thought I'd talk to you about the Mark 8 Golf GTI, the GTI Clubsport and the R. Simply because I realised I haven't really done sort of a video where it sort of joins all of them together, all of the three cars. And if you're watching this, basically it's to help you out if you're looking to buy one, because yeah, hopefully my channel helps you out. You know, there's a lot of it's more about the community. There's so many people who are subscribed to the channel, who know their stuff and can help you out. They help me out, frankly. That's where I get a lot of my information from, and I've known a fair amount of stuff around these cars, having shared them on the channel, and having owned this car for nearly, well, it's going to be 4 years in no time, my Mark 7 Golf R. I feel I'm in a decent position to kind of talk to you about the three cars, if those are the cars that you're looking to buy. So in today's market, basically, in the UK, you can buy all three cars. Now the R has only just been released, so there's not many of those cars around, and if you want one for January, which is what we're in now, towards the end of January, you'll have to basically pay RRP. You're not really going to get a deal. Most people that I've spoken to are waiting sort of mid to late this year to get theirs, so it's a little bit of a hard one to judge. But to summarise, because the GTI has been out the longest, then the Clubsport, then the R, you can actually pick up real world prices. A Mark 8 Golf GTI standard manual car for around £30,000, a GTI Clubsport for around £35,000, and the R for around £40,000. Those are your three price points. Now I'm only going to compare these three cars, not going to think about their rivals. These are the three cars that I'm thinking that you may be interested in buying and which one to go for. Now the one thing I absolutely want to stress, and that it boggles my mind why people don't do this, please test drive a car before you buy. When I went to get, I saw decent videos on this Mark 7 Golf R. I'd heard good feedback about it and watched YouTube videos as well on it, but I was never going to put my hard-earned cash in unless I test drove it. I test drove about 4 or 5 Mark 7 Golf Rs and its rivals and other cars before I found the one that I wanted, and I was happy with it and I made the purchase. It's the second most important spend in your life before your house, so take your time, do not rush. Now I understand that people might be coming to the end of a finance agreement or some sort of PCP or their lease deal, so they might be in the position where they sort of say, well, I just have to get a car. So if you can't do it, you can't do it. It's click and collect at the moment in the UK, so it is tricky, so I get that. But yes, please do not take the advice of even my channel. I haven't driven any of those three cars yet. I'm looking forward to trying them out, but even with the knowledge, and even if I did share my experience on it, which I plan to on the channel, please, do your own sort of due diligence, try it yourself, see what you think. You might not agree with some of the comments, or you might think it's perfect, in which case fantastic, you're joining the VW Golf world. So that's basically what I wanted to summarise on that. But in short, all three cars are very, very similar to a degree. The good thing is that whether you go for a base GTI or a top of the range Mark 8 Golf R, servicing costs and running costs are going to be very, very similar, as I found out in this car. They all run the exact same engine, it's just in a different state of tune. So when you come to service your car, if you plan on keeping it for a while, you're not going to get stung whatever model you get. You should be paying the same. The only thing that is slightly different is that with the Haldex system, you'll have to have a Haldex service. That is about it. Everything else is the same. If you have a DSG car, you're going to need a DSG service at some point. If you have a manual, you're a little bit luckier because you don't have to, like mine. Until the clutch glows or something like that, you're not in any sort of major issues. So that's the good part, and that's why I love this car, and that's why I chose it, and that's why I personally chose it above a GTI. Now, the big thing at the moment is that things have changed since the Mark 7 world. The GTI is now significantly cheaper, certainly in today's market. If you're looking for a car, £10,000 is a lot of money to save, and it's a lot of money that can go towards other things like, you know, enjoying your car or going on holiday when we can eventually go out. So it's a big thing to think about. Now, it's the bad thing about the Mark 8 Golf GTI is it doesn't look like it's improved massively over the Mark 7. Infotainment and stuff has all changed, but in terms of power, you're looking at 245 brake horsepower, and from reviews from what I've seen, they firmed up the suspension, so it's not as dailyable potentially as the last one. It's good enough. It's supposed to be a little bit more agile, but not as agile as the other two, if that makes sense. Now, if you want a manual gearbox car, which I still like, and you know, I'm trying to hang on to them, that is the only car you can get in the UK anyway. If you're from the US or from another region, you can still get a manual, I believe, in the Mark 8R. Now, if you want to step it up mid-range to that 35 grand price point that I said before, the GTI Clubsport, it's DSG only, but you're stepping up to about 296 brake horsepower. So it's a big step on, and for 5 grand, you are getting quite a lot for your money. You know, harder suspension, you know, a slightly different tune in the chassis, different look, big wing, not potentially as subtle as maybe the standard car. No manual gearbox, which again I find bizarre, but hey ho, cost cuttings. So that's an option you can get. Both the two cars that I've spoken about, front wheel drive. Then you move up to the top of the range Mark 8 Golf R, which I've spoken about plenty on this channel. So please do check back on previous content. If you're looking to get these cars, my channel is definitely going to help you out. I can help you out. People on the channel can help you out, and I can do my best to make your life easier in what is, like I've said, the second most expensive purchase of your life. So you want to get it right. Really couldn't stress that enough. Mark 8R, you get 320 horsepower, so it's the most powerfulest one, and you get 4-wheel drive. It's snowing quite a lot, and it doesn't snow that often, but it rains quite often, for example, in the UK. 4-wheel drive, fantastic. You need to stick winter tyres on if you're going out in this sort of weather, but in the rain, summer tyres, 4-wheel drive is great, and frankly, even in this, it's going to get up to speed, no problem. Getting down to speed and turning, it's no different than any of the other cars that I've mentioned, the GTI, the front-wheel drive cars. It's absolutely no different. So just because you can get up to speed quicker doesn't mean you can stop or turn any easier in the bad weather. But it's a fantastic, particularly if you get winter tyres on it, which I know a lot of my subscribers and people on Golf R forums that I follow do that. I mean, if we had more weather like this, I'd certainly opt for it. But this is the first snowfall I've seen in this area. I'm sort of southeast in the UK. It hasn't snowed in about 2 years. Not like this anyway. So you're getting that power, you're getting that traction, you're getting the performance. DSG gearbox as well. You can either go for the subtle look, or you can put performance pack on it, which basically makes it look like a GTI Clubsport. Remember, they're all interchanging parts. That is what VW do. They're saving costs, and that is how they're working it. They're just bolting on parts onto the same chassis. That's what I really want to stress. You're paying for the chassis of the car in essence. So I actually think a potential sweet spot on a car that I really do want to try is a manual Golf GTI at around 30 grand. I think that could be a very good car, and frankly, even if it falls in price even more, it could be even more tempting. Which one should you go for? Now, it does very much depend on where you're located, but if you're from the UK, the 4-wheel drive Mark 8 Golf R is what I would certainly recommend. That would be my personal preference, just because of the conditions, because of the daily ability, even basic things like pulling out of roundabouts in first gear. It flies, and it's a cracking car. If you're in sort of like a more warmer climate, you're probably not going to you're not as traction limited, so you're not going to see as much of the benefits. If you're on a slightly more of a budget and you still want to get into these performance cars, because they're all great cars in their own right, they're not your standard Mark 8 Golfs, I think the GTI, at its current price point and falling, I think it it can be a great buy to have, because GTIs hold, you know, they look after your money well when you get that type of car. It's going to be fantastic daily driver. It will put a smile on your face. You know, if you go for a manual gearbox, it's going to be just as engaging as any of the other two, the Clubsport and the R. And you're going to have money in your back pocket saved, which is obviously important in these tough times. Now, like I said, it's all personal preference. Hopefully I've given a little bit of an insight on those three cars to sort of summarise into one video, because I realised I hadn't really done it. I've sort of compared quite a few different variants, but I hadn't sort of said at this state in time which is kind of the one which you could go for. So you've got a choice basically: save your money but still have a great car, spend your money, have the most power and four-wheel drive traction, or go halfway house, which I'm struggling. I've seen people buy their GTIs and collect GTI Clubsports, and they look great. I'm still struggling to find the kind of real purpose of that car. But if you do want your GTI turned up to 11, that makes sense. The R isn't really a GTI turned up to 11. It's a different package. It weighs more. It's got the four-wheel drive. It's a different driving car altogether. Think of the Clubsport as like a GTI Plus, basically. That's kind of what it is. And also looks. The Clubsport only comes with that big wing. Is that for you? You know, that's for you to decide. But I think for those three cars, I'm so glad VW have brought them out, because it's such tricky times with everyone, you know, the government forcing people away from combustion engine cars. We're clearly not there yet. And it's very hard to make those kind of cars, particularly in such a mass-produced way. My channel's always been about the community. It's always been about people in completely different regions across the world, across Europe, you know, having these type of cars. And that's why I still have the R, because it just brings kind of everyone together. And that's why I kind of like these cars, and they do work day to day. And I think they're brilliant. I think if you picked any one of those three, you're going to get a very good car. I think for me, I want to try out a Mark 8. I want to share my real driving thoughts with you lot. At the moment, I'm in the Mark 7 camp. And I have done videos on why a Mark 7 Golf R or other Mark 7 GTI products can make sense. So check them out on my channel. Loads of content, loads of golf content on this channel to help you out. That's what it's there for. So please use it. And yeah, hopefully it will help you out. But yeah, listen, I'm going to continue letting my car warm up because basically I haven't driven it in about 2 weeks. It's not getting driven that much at all, really. 30,800 miles. It's pathetic, really. Like 2,000 miles in a year, which is not like me at all. But I do want to keep bits ticking over. You know, I'm not going to go out for a drive today. It's just, you know, you've got to use a bit of common sense in this period of time. But listen, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe. If you are interested in any of those kind of cars, I would suggest you subscribe to the channel, because you're going to get to see more content. And you know, plenty more content on my Mark 7 Golf R. And I think the great thing is about all these cars being interchangeable. In the Mark 7, you've got the same EA AAA engine. You're going to have the same sort of experiences, issues, servicing, all these kind of things, because that's what VW want. They want to make things simpler for themselves when they actually like market and, you know, work with a product. So yeah, you know, we're all here to help each other out, and that's kind of what my channel is about. But yeah, listen, thanks so much for watching, and thank you for staying tuned for this long in the video. Yeah, hopefully the snow settles a little bit. It's nice to have, it puts a smile on your face, doesn't it, in really tricky times, particularly in the UK, and I'm sure wherever you are as well. We're not in the best place, but yeah, I hope these videos help you out. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. You know, if you are a subscriber of mine, please leave a comment of what you think about those three cars, whether or not you're getting one or not. You know, your insight is pretty valuable, and you know, I value it. I'll always look at the comment and I'll always take it on board, and I know other people will. You know, this channel does get plenty of views. I think I'm heading towards 800,000 views, so people are watching it, so it's there to help you out. But listen, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you want to with the content that I've mentioned, And yeah, I will see you again next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the snow if you're out in the UK, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.